Yankees baseball. It's the defending world champion New York Yankees against the Cleveland Indians in the final game of a 4-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball along with Paul O'Neill. I'm Michael Kay. Yesterday, the Yankees won 7-3. That was their 50th game of the year. Now, Memorial Day has always been a signpost of where a team is. So we decided to take a close look, the difference between this year and last year. It's remarkable how similar it was. Now, last year, they won a world championship. They were 29-21 after 50 games. Now they're 30-20. Runs per game about the same. The average about the same. Now, the home runs, last year the Yankees had a lot more home runs than right now. And the ERA, well, this year's team is a lot better. The only difference is that Tampa Bay has gotten off to such a good start. That's why the Yankees are chasing them at the moment. Now let's take a look back at some of the highlights of the first 50 games. Second home run for Curtis Granderson was a game winner against the Red Sox and Jonathan Papelbon. Then on April 10th, CC Sabathia flirted with a no-hitter, but he ended up giving it up to Kelly Shopick late, and a little disappointment there, but the Yankees ended up winning that game nonetheless. Then Phil Hughes decided to flirt with baseball immortality out in Oakland, and only a comebacker to the mound ended up keeping him from that fate. Great start for Phil Hughes. And then Alex Rodriguez.
Memorable home runs, a go-ahead grand slam against the Minnesota Twins. Little curtain call. And Marcus Timms, a game-winner walk-off against the Boston Red Sox. Those are the ones you really remember in there in the Bronx. And yesterday, Mark Teixeira, his 200 and he got the towel thing before we get to Mark Teixeira. You got to get the towel thing. His 250th career home run. And I tell you what, it was a bomb. You got to keep an eye on this guy. Now, this might be one of those hits that jumpstarts him for the rest of the season.
Well, that's some of the things that added up to 30-20 for the Yankees, and that's where they stand right now. They are 3.5 games behind the Rays, a game in front of the Blue Jays, and 2 games in front of the Red Sox. So now in the second third of the season, they started with the veteran, Andy Pettitte, off to a great start. His former teammate, Paul O'Neill, will break it down next on segment 2. Guy on the mound for the New York Yankees is Andy Pettitte, a former teammate of yours. And, Paul, it's hard to believe he's 6-1 right now. And at the age of 37, he seems to be pitching better than he did when he played with you.
Well, he understands the role much better. Obviously, he understands the wisdom of getting hitters out with when he has his great stuff and when he does not have his great stuff. This year, for me, he's got a better curveball. He throws it for strikes. He understands he's the type of pitcher that always gets that ground ball or that strikeout when he needs it in a big inning. And, if you look at the end of this clip, he still enjoys competing. He still has that intensity to take out on the mound. And I tell you, playing behind a guy like that makes it a lot of fun.
All right, let's look at today's New York Lottery pitching matchup. Mitch Talbot goes for the Indians. He's 6-3 with a 3.73. And Andy Pettitte for the Yankees, 6-1 with a 2.62 ERA. On Memorial Day, an afternoon game on a Monday at Yankee Stadium. who remember all that made this country great. Lineups, first pitch, baseball coming up next on Yes. IOTV. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV. By Hager, established 1926. Your own great moment starts at Hager.com. And by Avis, the official rental car company of the New York Yankees. The Stars and Stripes outside Yankee Stadium. Andy Pettitte is ready to roll, wearing the special Memorial Day issued cap with the red, white, and blue stars and stripes within the interlocking NY. Andy takes his warm-ups, and today's Indian starting lineup is presented by Lexus. Trevor Crowe, the center fielder, will lead off, batting second and playing second. Margaret Solanic. Austin Kearns in left field will hit third. Cleaning up and DHing Travis Hafner. Johnny Peralta, the DH, is going to bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing right field, Shelley Duncan. Matt Laporta, the first baseman, he's going to bat seventh. Batting eighth and catching, Lou Morrison's had a good series so far. And Jason Donald, the shortstop, will bat ninth. Let's take a look at the numbers on Andrew Eugene Pettitte, the 37-year-old left-hander, and the numbers really are sparkling. Doesn't look like he's close to the end at all. This will be his 10th start, 6-1, 2.62, less than a hit per inning. Good strikeout to walk ratio, 2-1. Opponents hitting .256 against him. Time to take a look now at the scouting report for Pettitte.
100. I mean, his career record, 235 and 136. If he wins today, he'll be, for the first time in his career, 100 games over 500 for his career. That's really impressive for a starting pitcher. Don't walk this way. No walks last game in Minnesota, and it's a big part of his game. When he didn't walk anybody, he's 10-0 over his last 12 starts. And daydreamer, it's kind of like you, Mike, a daydreamer. And Andy Pettitte's real good, 5-0 with a 1.0 ERA in day games this season.
Place looks great. Big crowd on hand. A Memorial Day matinee here at Yankee Stadium. Trevor Crowe's ready. Andy Pettitte's ready. Let's do it here in the Bronx. And the first pitch is upstairs, and we are underway. Crowe, 4 for his last 8. Pettitte deals, and it's fouled away.
And we've gone over it over and over again. But Grady Sizemore is kind of their everyday center field on the disabled list, giving Trevor Crowe an opportunity. Showed some great defensive skills out there, and all of a sudden now he's swinging the bat too.
And you know what? He's going to be playing quite a bit, because we get word today that Sizemore is going to have knee surgery and might be out as long as 8 weeks. And then, if they do the knee surgery and they see that there's more of a problem, he might have microfracture surgery. And then your recovery time could be anywhere up to a year, and you might not ever recover fully. So Trevor Crowe is going to get his chance. Pitches inside, 2-2. That's a big blow for the Indians, because Sizemore, arguably their best player, they have a lot of money invested in him, and he is the most popular Indian as well. The 2-2.
on strikes. We talked about it in the pregame report. His curveball this year has got a little more bite. Strike 3. And you see how the ball ends up out of the zone. That's a strikeout pitch. Not much you can do once you've committed to swinging to it.
Ooh, bounce there. Didn't have the tag, though.
Nice little pick.
Here's Gutsalonic. And there's a strike. Indians coming at 18-30. They are certainly struggling, and they might struggle all year. They're a very young team. And then you have veterans like this, and you wonder what their motivation is other than, hey, what's the next contract? Where am I going next? He's going up the middle, where it's grabbed by Jeter, the 360, and that pulls Teixeira off the bag. And Gutsalonic will reach. Well, you're just seeing Jeter at short. That's a given with the Yankees. Let's take a look at the Yankees defense. Overall, brought to you by Mercedes. Gardner, Granderson, and Swisher left to right in the outfield. Rodriguez, Jeter, Cano, and Teixeira third to first. Cervelli behind the plate. Pettit is on the mound.
See Jeet going up the middle. Gloves are pretty easy. Turning, you see it just released a little bit high. Good basing by Granderson. Got down. Yesmo show you that he got in there.
Give him a base hit on that. Now, we always say it's foolish to slide into first base because you can't get there quicker than you would if you were running straight up. But right there was the time to slide in, because if he's standing up, he's going to get tagged by Teixeira.
The big thing these last 3 games, I think the Yesmo is my favorite new thing we're doing.
Really?
Great angles, had a lot of close calls this year.
Popped up. Teixeira makes the play in foul territory for the second out. Paul, you know what? You like it so much, I'm going to get you one for Christmas. So you could, like, for the family movies and stuff.
What am I going to watch in slow motion, though?
Everything, your whole life.
Definitely cooking dinner.
Yeah,
the
look
kids
at
going
Neville,
up the steps.
Your youngest son basketball game, you can tape it and then play it on Yesmo.
I'll tell you what, if I could figure out how to slow motion his near dunk, I'd be a hero to him.
His near dunk.
Yeah.
Here's Travis Hafner. One for 7 in this series. And there's a strike.
You see Andy Pettit just comfortably just strike one on every hitter. Then he can go to his cutter or his breaking ball. And, you know, the Cleveland Indians, you're going to put Hafner back in the lineup. This is a tough matchup for him.
The 0-1. 1-1. There is the hat that the Yankees are wearing, and they'll wear this on July 4th as well, and on Labor Day. And that's a directive throughout Major League Baseball. Not just the Yankees, the Indians have the same sorts of hats with the Indian logo on the front, the stars and the stripes.
Wow, the helmet's bright, right?
Those will just be worn by the base coaches. Otherwise, the Yankees will have the regular blue helmets on when they bat. That one's popped up. Alex Rodriguez will make the play. And Andy Pettit has a fairly easy 1-2-3 inning. Indians lead 1. And the New York Yankees are coming to bat. At 6, batting 7th, and DHing Juan Miranda. Francisco Cervelli will catch. He's going to bat 8th, and batting 9th, then playing left field is Brett Gardner. So let's take a look at what Mitch Talbot has done on a team that's really playing poorly. 12 games under 500. He's 3 games over. This is his 10th start, less than a hit per inning. They got him from Tampa Bay, and opponents hitting 248 against him. Obviously, too many walks. He certainly wants to fix that. Let's take a look at the scouting report on Talbot.
Well, Michael, you said he's off to a good start, and Indians first. He's the first Indians rookie pitcher to ever win at least 3 games in April and May. A decision maker, I mean, he doesn't rely on the bullpen. Not too many guys take the ball and get decisions every single time they pitch. He's only one of 3 Major League Baseball players, Clay Buchholz and Carl Pavano being the others. And the bad ratio.
That one's a grounder by Jeter, stabbed by Peralta. 1 away.
Bad ratio we'll get to is 24 walks, 24 strikeouts. It's one thing, and he's been a bright spot for the Indians. That's one thing he needs to improve on.
Now, what Talbot's all about, he's very tough against lefties because his signature pitch is a changeup. He can't throw it to righties. It's not a good pitch for righties because it's going to move down and in. Against lefties, that pitch will move down and away from their swing. So he's had some trouble with right-handed batters, but against lefties, he does a good job.
You know, that's kind of the old style, old schools of teaching of baseball, and I never really understood it. If you don't feel like it's a good pitch, I think you still have to throw it out of the zone, because there were many times where I faced left-handed pitchers that had great changeups, Frank Viola, Frank Tanana, guys that you knew had great changeups, and if you took that out of the equation of the hitter, it was much easier to hit them. Even if they throw it to you as a ball, then it's still in your mind.
But doesn't that get a little sketchy, though? Because if they throw it, it goes down and in to a lefty. That's the power zone, the happy zone.
Yeah, again, back to David Cohn's style of pitching. If you want the ball down and in, well, throw it down and in the dirt, or throw it out of the strike zone.
That one is ripped down the right field line, and it goes into the corner, then bounces into the seats. A ground rule double for Curtis Granderson.
And Michael, I don't know if you've noticed, since he's been back, his best swings in this series have been against left-handed pitching. And that's been kind of the question mark coming over here. Is he going to be able to hit left-handed pitching? He hooks that ball right down the line. In his last 2 or 3 at-bats against lefties in this series, Granderson's had great swings. So he can get that bat back, doesn't lunge forward, give you time to get the bat head out there.
And here's Mark Teixeira. The big 3-run home run in yesterday's game. And you said earlier, Paul, that you think that this could be something that really sets him off to watch him now.
You know, every once in a while you have that one hit that you look back at the end of the year and think, you know, that really turned things around. And the reason it was not only just a big home run and help him win a game, but it was a time where he's struggling driving in runs. You know, he was down in the count. He fouled off a couple tough pitches, and then he ends up hitting a game-winning 3-run home run with men in scoring position, and that all adds up to a big at-bat from Mark Teixeira.
1-1 outside. You love it, Paul. You wait for it. Here it is. Let's look at the game-time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. 81 degrees, 43% humidity. The wind is 11 miles per hour. And the forecast, well, there it is. It's a great day for baseball. Great day for anything.
What could you improve on in that weather forecast?
Well, it's not a great day for skiing. It's probably not a real good day for that.
Depends what kind of skiing you're talking about. Could be out in the lake watching.
That's right. That one's booted by Grutzelanek. Stays with it. Gets Teixeira. Moving to third is Granderson. Let's take a look at the Indians' defense, which is brought to you by our good friends at Mercedes. In the outfield, Kearns, Crow, and Shelley Duncan's in right field. Infield, Peralta, Donald, Grutzelanek, and Matt Laporta at first. Morrison behind the plate. Mitch Talbot is on the mound. There's Shelley.
One of those guys that really doesn't care where they stick him, just as he gets an opportunity to walk up to that plate and get his swings in.
Alex still has not hit his stride. 284, 6 home runs, which is low for him at this point. But 35 runs batted in, not too bad. That gives him over 100 if you prorate it over the course of the season. Last year finished with 30 and 100, and that was after missing 28 games at the beginning of the year with the hip surgery. Count 2-0.
Talbot's yesterday, Alex had some trouble hitting that ball. That boy Matterson was throwing that two-seamer in on his hands. We're going to go back at it. The scouting reporters try to get under his hands, jam him up a little bit.
The 2-0. Line drive, a base hit to right center. That'll score Curtis Granderson. Alex Rodriguez with a big turn, and he picks up an RBI single, and the Yankees have a 1-0 lead.
I love the approach to hitting here. Man in scoring position. You don't need a home run. This ball is out and away. Hit it where it's pitched. And, you know, the Teixeira's at bat yesterday, this at bat today. I mean, if Alex Rodriguez and Teixeira get going and all of a sudden, you know, your bullpen shapes up, then all of a sudden you throw, you know, 25 out of 30 games and win. And then that's the type of team that the Yankees can become. Great swing right there for Alex Rodriguez.
That's going to bring up Robinson Cano. And there's not much you could say about Cano other than he is very, very hot. 13-game hitting streak. He's 10 for his last 12. And he leads the teams in average home runs, RBIs, and an on-base percentage of .405. He's just having a really, really fine year. There's a strike. I would think, Paul, that when you're this hot, you want to play 2 games a day.
You don't want days off. You don't want anything to change. You want your routine to stay the same as far as batting practice, the number of swings, and it's just like you're on automatic pilot right now. And it's, believe me, it's a fun time to play the game of baseball when you're hitting the ball like Robbie. It seems to me like he's going to step in there, look for a pitch. I'm going to hit the ball where it's pitched. A lot of times as a hitter, you get in there, I'm going to pull this ball, I'm going to inside out this ball. Robbie is picking up the ball so early. He's able to adjust and just hit us where it's pitched.
IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes.
HD is free. Not a lot of things in life are free.
Just with IO.
Just with IO.
Other places it's not free. That's what makes IO so special. Now, Yes-Mo, that's free.
Robbie's playing in Yes-Mo right now.
That's right. Everything's real slow. Is it true? I mean, we always hear it when we didn't play the game at this level that when you're that hot, it looks like a beach ball. Does the ball look bigger when you're that hot?
I don't think the ball changes, but it does seem like you have more time. It just seems like you see the seams on the baseball better. And no, I never noticed the ball increasing in size, but there are definitely times when you just feel like you have a lot more time to make a decision to swing.
Hot shot to second and through the legs of Grutzelanek. Alex Rodriguez is going to third. The throw, not in time. Throw to second. And they're going to get Cano. Yankees with aggressive base running. It worked for A-Rod. It did not work for Cano. So an E6 for Grutzelanek, or A4, I'm sorry. But the Yankees do score a run on 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. We played 1 here at the stadium. Yankees lead the Indians 1-0 on Yes. in June are you looking forward to the most? You can text us at 58772, and here are your choices. The NBA Finals, the U.S. Open, Wimbledon, or the World Cup. Now, we're not throwing the Belmont Stakes in there, I guess, but standard text messaging rates apply again, 58772. I think I'd be looking forward to probably the NBA Finals.
Yeah, it should be a good one. I mean, there's some things, and everybody's tired of the Lakers and the Celtics, the history, but when the best teams are in it, and I do truly believe those are the best teams in basketball this year. It makes for a good final.
That one's driven out to right field and deep. Giving chase is Swisher, turning, looking, see ya. Peralta with a home run. The game is tied at 1. That got out in a hurry.
Well, Johnny Peralta, good fastball hitter, and he gets the fastball out over the plate. Even the visiting players know here, you know, balls away. If you drive the ball to right center field in Yankee Stadium, good things are going to happen. And his fastball kind of sinking back over the middle of the plate. Nick Swisher banged that wall a few times yesterday, and figured he'd just watch that one go. Kind of a question mark whether, you know, when he was running right, if he'd be in. So good sign to see him back out in right field today.
Shelley Duncan, count 1-1. So Peralta with his 4th home run. Right down the middle, right, Paul?
Yeah, got a little sinker that didn't sink a lot, but it got a lot of the plate. And again, Johnny Peralta is not going to miss a lot of fastballs. Seems like he's always ready for that pitch, as is Shelley Duncan.
Now, Shelley Duncan was on the Yankees for a limited amount of time last year, so he gets a World Series ring, and he got his ring delivered by FedEx. But it was the sort of thing that you had to sign for. They couldn't leave it at the door. And the first day that they delivered the ring, he wasn't there, as he swings and misses, and he got so upset and started to panic. And he said the next day I would not leave the house. I know, even if it was an emergency, I was not leaving the house because I was going to be there to sign for that ring. And
you know, it's funny because I've had things delivered, you know, presents or something that are delivered and you miss it, and there's got to be a signature. And you know, where I am in the neighborhood, you can, you know, take off in your car and kind of go through the, you know, the cul-de-sac and try to find the truck. It's kind of hard when you're in Manhattan trying to figure out which one just left the note on your door.
That's right. There's about 7,000 FedEx trucks. Here's Matt Laporta. And there is a strike. Laporta came over from Milwaukee. He was the big prize in that trade, in the trade that sent CC Sabathia to Milwaukee. And the Indians made an offer to Sabathia. They knew that he thought he could get more on the open market. He was right. So they made a trade, and it was a great trade for Milwaukee because it got Milwaukee into the postseason. And CC pitched 3 times down the stretch on 3 days rest. Milwaukee had to win every single game. Finally caught up to him in the postseason against the Phillies. They got hit hard, but he got them almost single-handedly into the postseason that year.
Don't you think, I mean, he was an all-star pitcher with Cleveland, but that's when, you know, you're traded. He became really a household name in a small market. Yeah. I mean, even national TV, just pitching every 4th day to get those guys into the playoffs, and it worked.
And how about this for a throwback, Paul? I'm sure that you'll appreciate this one. He was in Milwaukee, CC, and they had to win all the time. And he took the ball on 3 days rest, just constantly did it. And his agent said to him, check swing, did he go? No. He said, CC, you're going to be a free agent. You know, you don't want to hurt yourself. He goes, I'm not worried about that. I got to get this team into the playoffs. That's all he cared about. And he put his personal accomplishments or his desires to get money, he put that on the side. It was more important to get the Brewers into the playoffs.
His mechanics, his size, his arm strength, it's amazing. I mean, fouled off the day after he pitched there it is. I saw
little CC.
Little CC was Little C was taking a little BP into the cage today when I walked through.
Did your kids get a kick out of going on the field? They were still old enough, right?
Oh, yeah. Especially my oldest, Andy. He used to love to go out and run around. First thing I want to do is, they get their brand new uniforms, and the first thing I want to do is get dirty. That's what's fun to be a kid, I guess.
The 2-2. 3-2. Last time out, Andy threw 94 pitches over 8 innings against the Twins, and Nick Swisher's top of the 9th inning home run gave the Yankees a lead. Mariano closed it out, so Andy got a victory. 3-2. Hot shot, past the diving Jeter, and into left center field. So Laporta hit that ball very hard, and he picks up a single. Now, Little C was in the ballpark today, but Dad was working, and Little C was checking it out. That's about as close as you could get watching CC Sabathia work. You know, speaking about kids, Paul, I was talking to Andy the day after he pitched well against the Twins on the field at Target Field, and I said, "My goodness, you're pitching better than you've ever pitched." And I said, "You keep playing this year to year. You could really go on a long time if you don't get hurt." That one's grounded to third. Let's see if they turn two. There's one. No, they don't give him the out at second. No, the out is made at first. And the second base umpire, C.B. Buckner, does not give him the neighborhood call. I think he's wrong. He's out. That's a bad call.
You know what? It's not the first one he's made this series either. I mean, this right here is just...
That's a bad call. C.B. Buckner has had a really tough series. The ball's in the glove. The foot is clearly on the bag. And it's amazing. It seems like C.B. Buckner wants to make the dramatic call to show that he's out there. And that's just a bad call. He's right in front of it. You know what? How umpires get graded? Well, when the report card comes in for CB for this series, it's not going to be very good.
This has been a tough semester.
Those are the umpires in today's game. Wow. He missed a couple calls in favor of the Yankees the first night on Friday at first base. I mean, really bad calls. Anyway, and Andy said, yeah, he said, but I can't handle being away from my kids. I can't handle not seeing my son play in high school. He said, that's the thing. He said, people don't understand it, but you want to see your kids do these important things. You want to be there for them.
It's definitely, it's one of the things that comes up as you get older in this game is, you know, what's going on at home. Because, you know, when you start in the minor leagues, you don't have family usually, and, you know, you're carefree, and all of a sudden, you know, these things start, you know, presenting problems in what you do after baseball. But as well as he's pitching, it's really hard to see how you can hang it up at this point.
Popped up. Teixeira will make the play. So the bad call at second does not affect the New York Yankees. But Johnny Peralta's home run over the right field wall, that affects them. In fact, that makes the game 1-1 as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Sunday afternoon. Monday is an off day, and then 3 games in Baltimore, Tuesday, Wednesday night, and Thursday night as well. And then the Houston Astros come to Yankee Stadium as interleague play begins again. That is the upcoming schedule. Here's Nick Swisher against Mitch Talbot. Indians got Talbot from the Tampa Bay Rays in the trade that sent Kelly Shopik to Tampa. And that's the type of deals that have to work for the Indians. They've got to get pitchers. It's hard to develop them, and if you're going to trade off pieces that other teams want, you got to get young pitching back and hope that you hit pay dirt. But you can't make bad decisions, Paul. Check this decision that they made last year in the draft. And this is how you set teams back forever. They had the 13th pick in the draft, and they took Bo Mills. The 14th pick in the draft went to the Braves, and they took Jason Hayward.
It's amazing, isn't it? How much just little decisions like that can affect an organization.
You can't miss on Jason Hayward, a guy who, I mean, is off the charts on every rating that you could have. Personality, arm, speed, power, average. He does it all. Bobby Cox has compared him to Mickey Mantle.
Well, you know, if you look at the first round of the draft every year, there's a couple guys that change the face of organizations, and some guys don't ever step foot on a major league field.
Swing and a miss, dropped there by Morrison, and they get Nick Swisher at first. This moment in Yankees history brought to you by Johnny Walker. Demand greatness in every sip and every season. Johnny Walker, proud sponsor of the New York Yankees. And on this date, 1938, Lou Gehrig plays in his 2000th consecutive game. And he would finish up with 2,130 straight, a record that held until Cal Ripken Jr. shattered it. New exhibit in the Yankee Museum here at the stadium on Lou Gehrig. The old number 4. For day games, you can get into the Yankee Museum at 11 o'clock here.
See some of that old stuff. I mean, that just brings you back to where baseball was when you look at old uniforms, old hats actually worn. I mean, it's neat stuff.
You know what that hat just made me think of?
Wells?
When David Wells wore Babe Ruth's cap. And boy, was Joe Torre chapped.
You know, you can't really take that for granted, the history involved with the Yankees, because you can go to a lot of ballparks around the country and see good teams and good, nice fields. But where do you see the tradition, and where do you see the history and the names that have played here in the Bronx?
The 2-1. Outside, 3-1.
Michael, I'm coming into the park today. I figured out our next competition.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. I'm coming up. I'm making a left right there off, is it McCombs Dam when you come in?
Right.
There's a big basketball court there.
Really?
You and I, one-on-one. Huh?
How about horse?
Horse?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll go for horse.
All right.
Put it in yes slow-mo. Yes mode.
That one's popped up. Grutzel on it. Will make the play as Miranda is retired.
You probably still wear the old gray gym shorts and old socks up to your knees, huh?
With the stripes on the top.
Yes. A pair of Chuck Taylors.
Chuck Taylor low cut, yeah. This is another exhibit in the museum. Yogi Berra and Lou Gehrig, Yogi Berra and Don Larson are 60 feet 6 inches apart. Paul O'Neill has a baseball in there.
Doesn't quite look as cool as Babes and Lou Gehrig and that kind of stuff.
You got a great signature, though. Did you practice that as a kid?
You can read it, yeah.
Did you know that you're going to be famous?
You hope so. You just work on it in art class when you're a little bored, I guess. You were actually writing papers, and I was working on some cool signatures, huh?
Best signature I've ever seen, and I know he takes unbelievably great amount of pride in it, is Mariano Rivera. It's like a work of art. And he takes forever to sign it. He said, that's what somebody reads of what I wrote. I want people to know who it is.
belongs in the loop. That's what you're telling me?
I like yours. Yours is good. Because you can see it's Paul O'Neill. The 0-2. Inside 1 and 2. That's Mariano's right there. That's pretty sweet.
Definitely does have a nice little feel to it, you know.
And then there are autographs that you just have no idea. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Yankees won and the Indians won a Memorial Day matinee. Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. And Cervelli has worked the count full. And we showed you the ratio. Talbot will walk people because he's not going to give in. He doesn't have overpowering stuff. So he needs you to help him out, chase something on the corner or just off the corner, and he'll go to 3 balls on a lot of people as well. And a base hit up the middle off the bat of Cervelli.
And this is what you think as a manager. You think, you know, this is a guy that chances are if he gets a hit, it's going to be a single. So you don't walk guys. You don't pitch around guys like this. The worst that's going to happen is what happened. He lines one up the middle. Same as a walk. So, you know, if you're Talbot, you can't be upset about that other than you got behind in the count. But, you know, you can deal with giving up a single in a 3-ball count.
Here's Brett Gardner. Gardner 2 for 9 in the series, hitting .289. And with Granderson bat, they have Gardner in the number 9 hole. And we've said this before, Joe Girardi does not think batting him second stopped him from running. He said he stopped running because he didn't get on base that much. He was in a little bit of a slump. He said, but he has a green light to go whenever he wants, even if Mark Teixeira is at the plate.
I mean, you've got numbers for Teixeira, you've got numbers for A-Rod, and Gardner has really become an everyday outfielder. What kind of numbers do you think that, you know, you can expect from him from a full year?
I look at him, I think if he gives him anywhere from 275, right in that general vicinity with an on base of like 35, 36%.
Scoring 100 runs.
He'd steal 50 bases that way. I mean, what do you see with his swing?
You know, exactly. I think he could be hit at least 280 if he keeps the ball on the ground, if he uses left field. And, you know, yesterday he had a bat with men on scoring position. You saw he came out of his swing a little bit, tried to do it a little too much with it. He's going to have to be really patient and just stay with what he's good at, and that's slapping the ball the other way. He'll pull some balls, but getting on base and using his legs to score runs.
He's following what you're saying, Paul. 19 hits to left field. And 7 to the left side of the infield, so 26 of his hits are that way.
He should also take note of how many infield hits Derek Jeter gets. And that's just by, you know, putting the ball on the ground in the hole and beating it out.
Well, Talbot now at 3-1 on the number 9 hitter, Brett Gardner. Gardner thought it was ball 4 and actually has a word with Dana DeMuth.
A lot of times when you're setting up inside and that ball's way outside. Well, closer than I thought, but a lot of times as a catcher, when you're setting up inside and the ball ends up outside, it's a bad read for an umpire.
It's strange the umpire would see the catcher, Morrison, go all the way over to the other side of the plate and still give him the call. I know it was close, but he missed his target by like 20 inches. Cervelli goes, and Gardner's happier. He gets himself a base hit. Cervelli will go to third. Gardner picks up a single. We'd rather have the single than the walk.
Absolutely. Again, Cervelli on the move. Good piece of hitting. You talk about slapping ball the other way, but, you know, in a count where, you know, you've seen some pitches, you get a ball inside, you have the ability to turn on it. these are the kind of games and the kind of innings that Talbot is probably accustomed to. I mean, you're not going to get a lot of strikeouts, a lot of deep counts, but against the Yankees, especially coming off a good offensive win yesterday, got a lot of guys in this lineup that will go deep in the count and spray the ball around the field.
Jeter grounded to third, first pitch that he saw from Talbot. And now he gets plucked. Got him somewhere on the leg. So he's going to take first base, and the bases are loaded. Where did it get him, Paul?
Right in the thigh, right in the back of the hamstring, it looks like. Oh, you can see the indentation in Yesmo. You get hit by the ball and you don't feel it immediately. And there's about a 2-second delay and you know it's coming. A lot of muscle involved in that. The worst ball to hit you, if it hits a bone or a hip bone or ankles, those are the things that take a little time to recover from.
Now, this might be a silly question, Paul. How much does it hurt? I mean, is it excruciating?
No, again, it depends on where. And,
like that one, how much did that hurt?
That's not too bad because, again, it got him in a muscle in the back of the leg. And sure, it hurts. It feels like getting hit with a hammer in the back of the leg. It'll go away. But, if you get hit on a bone, on a wrist, on the elbow I always felt was the worst. Actually, come to think of it, the worst I ever got hit, funny enough, was a knuckleball. And it went through and it actually hit me on the back elbow on the funny bone. And I lost all feelings of my fingers and everything. So it's not necessarily the velocity. It's where it hits you on your body.
Bases loaded, 2 outs, 1-0 count on Granderson. And a strike, count 1-1. Granderson with a double in the first inning.
It was his changeup. You said he had a lot of success. You haven't seen a lot of good changeups to the left-handed hitters yet. So lefties have been getting good swings.
Count now 1-2.
See, that's that dangerous pitch where he goes inside on a lefty, and that ball saw the quarter. That saw a little bit of the plate. That's a ball that a left-hander can handle. You see the catcher have to reach back out over a little bit. If you're Talbot, you have to be really careful when you're trying to set up your changeup. When you use that inside fastball, you got to miss in off the plate or right on the corner.
One-two. Strike 3. Granderson down looking.
Good pitch there.
Well, the Yankees lead the bases loaded. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 3 men left. We play 2. It's 1-1.
gorgeous Memorial Day by some guys who can really harmonize and a great gal too, members of the 4 troops who performed our national anthem. I'm going to let them introduce themselves and rank. Ron?
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant retired Ron Henry from Williamsburg, Virginia.
Hi, I'm former Captain Meredith Melcher from Oakton, Virginia.
Former Sergeant Daniel Jens.
And I'm former Sergeant David Clemmel from Washington State.
You guys have such great harmony. Ron, how did this group come together?
Well, we all knew one great gentleman by the name of Victor Hurtado. Dave and Meredith knew him through Army Entertainment, and Dan knew him through America's Got Talent. I knew him through Military Idol. We all came together, presented ourselves to Sony, and here we are.
Here you are indeed. And Dan, you have a CD. It's in your hand right here, 4 troops, and proceeds benefit some military charities, right?
Yes, 50 cents every CD goes to the USO, the American Legion, the Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America, and the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund. It's just such an honor to be a part of that.
And you can find this anywhere. You can go to iTunes, anywhere on the internet. They've got these songs available.
That's right.
Meredith, to be here on Memorial Day, there's a great military presence here, which is just awesome. You guys were on the field getting some autographs from players before the game. What's it like to spend Memorial Day here singing the anthem and God Bless America?
Well, it's an honor to be here, but I mean, even more so the fact that today is the day that we're remembering everybody who sacrificed their lives for our country's freedom. So to be here on this day singing the national anthem, it's an honor. It's unbelievable.
And God Bless America will be there. I'll be honest with you, my knees are knocking. I am nervous with you guys. I am honored to be with you. And Dave, tell me, what's the public reaction as you walk around stadiums like this one? What do people say to you?
Well, mostly what people say are thank you for our service, but also with the album, we've gotten nothing but praises and thank yous from other people who have veterans as family members or who are veterans, because it gives them kind of a voice and also gives other people a chance to say thank you to veterans. So
we're all looking forward to God Bless America. But tell me, guys, you've sung a lot of national anthems now. Where's the best place you've sung a national anthem?
Yankee Stadium.
Yankee Stadium.
Michael, it's unanimous, Yankee Stadium.
Well, good stuff. Thank you, Kim, and thank you for 4 troops as well. They did a great job with the national anthem, and we'll hear them sing God Bless America during the 7th-inning stretch. On the Dodge scoreboard, it's a 1-1 game, top of the 3rd.
They really were good.
They were very good. Very good. Trevor Crow flew out to Nick Swisher. You saw that as Kim was talking with 4 troops. And here's Gutsalana going to count 1 and 2 on the second baseman. Andy Pettit deals the 1-2. Count 2 and 2. Infield single up the middle for Grutzelanic in the first inning. Jeter grabbed it, but his throw pulled to share off the bag to the home plate side of first. Memorial Day weekend, you really could not have asked for better weather. It has been unbelievable this weekend in the New York metropolitan area. There's a base hit for Grutzelanic, so he is 2 for 2.
It makes you feel like a snow cone or something, doesn't it, Michael? No?
Now, are you going to bring snow cones up here?
No, I don't think we got those around here, but it just got me in the mood, brought me back to when I was about 10, where you know, spill them all over yourself. Enjoy a little snow cone.
Now, this is the unofficial start of summer. I mean, once Memorial Day hits, people are going to the beaches and taking along their radio and listening to music and the games and listening to John and Susan right now doing the Yankee game. And that's a rite of summer. And that's why baseball is the summer game.
I'll tell you what, I'm all about summer. Summer's not a bad time. School's out. Don't have to worry about homework.
You still doing homework now?
You know what? My daughter, they're all beyond me now. I can't even do 9th grade math anymore. You just can't believe what these kids learn now.
So you're just sitting there still practicing your autograph.
Yeah. I signed their papers for them.
The 1-0. Inside, 2-0.
You hear the 4 troops talking about Military Idol, huh?
Yeah, I heard that. I wonder what that is.
Cheat about that. I'm sure he's involved, huh? Knows about it. Talking about Derek Jeter and a big fan of American Idol. We'll have to look up on the Military Idol and see how that's come about.
Chasing him back.
it's funny. You talked about earlier in the game about Grudzielanek, how what do these guys think about coming on a team like this? And there's so many young kids out on that field that are just happy to be here, happy to start their careers. And then there are the guys that, you fill the roster out to help you get through the season and help.
Allen is ripped to left. And Gardner runs it down.
And those are the guys you really can't fool. You can't say, hey, in spring training we got a chance to win this division this year, and you still enjoy competing. You still enjoy walking into Yankee Stadium. Brett Gardner gets a late jump and a good play out in left field. Again, we talked yesterday on how tough it is to see the ball here in bright sunshine on a day game.
I think he's got those yellow glasses on it. It's not just a regular sunglass. I mean, you try anything when you're left field here at Yankee Stadium.
The amber lens.
There's Travis Hafner. It's so odd to see Hafner be this sort of player. He's been robbed of his power over the last couple of years. They signed him to a long-term deal. He's going to be the centerpiece of what the Indians were about. Then injuries completely derailed him, and every time he's in the lineup, I mean, he's not a punch and Judy hitter, but he's certainly not a big-time home run power guy anymore. So they're paying for that, and they're getting a guy who has 4 home runs.
Michael, I'm going to give you a question, and I want you to just give me a ballpark answer.
All right.
I got the starting lineup. You're talking about the lack of power with Cleveland. Starting lineup with the Indians today and the starting lineup with the Yankees today. Total number of home runs.
For each team?
Each team.
One has 10. 33.
44 for the Yankees and 13 for the Indians.
Wow.
And it's going to stay right there at 13.
Great pitch moving away from Hafner, and the Indians do not score. Take a look at that one. Swung on a miss. 1 man left. Let's go to the bottom of the 3rd. Starring Jaden Smith and Jackie Chan in theaters June 11th. Blimpie, America's Sub Shop, and by Acela Express. Enjoy the journey. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning, and this is the pitch that got Hafner to end the inning. This is on the Exmo.
Wow. Good breaking ball again. I think Andy Pettit, his curveball this year, his breaking ball is, I don't know if he's gripping it different or whether just comfortable throwing it, getting a good break on it, and it really, really can shut down the left-handers.
Big shift on for Teixeira on the Dodge scoreboard. It's 1-1. 3 infielders on the right side for Mark, and the 3rd baseman Peralta playing short. It's amazing. They play him to pull, and they pitch him away. So they expect him to try to hook that ball, and he does hit into the shift a lot. They're not pitching to the shift, they're pitching away from the shift. Like that. Now from the right side, he did some damage yesterday, Paul.
I'll tell you what, this was a no-doubter, and it was a fun time of the game. They had fought back in it. He had a good long at-bat. You know, you come to the ballpark to see big hits, and that was one of them.
That one is lined to right center field. And right there is Shelley Duncan. Got a good jump and hauled it in.
That's funny. He must have got that ball on the end of the bat a little bit. It just didn't have that jump that you usually see off Teixeira's bat. Shelley Duncan. I don't know if he's your best right fielder, but he got a good jump on it. Tall, lanky. Got a big reach out there, you know.
And a reach for that one. Here's Alex Rodriguez. Drove in the Yankee run in the first inning, single right center. Count 0-1. We're in the bottom of the third at the stadium. Kay and O'Neill in the booth. You back home. Maybe coming in and out for some lemonade. Hanging out on the porch, barbecuing. We're glad we could be part of your holiday weekend. How was Frank's house last night?
Frank's house was awesome.
Frank and Mary, right?
Mary makes the best lasagna. Frankie grilled a little bit.
Count 1-2.
Got to hang out on the deck in New York, which I'm not used to doing.
She just moved here full time. Forget about the whole Ohio experience.
Yeah? You had enough of that?
You're big here.
The overalls and the plows have had enough, right?
Absolutely.
In your mind?
Swing and a miss. And A-Rod down on strikes.
That's that changeup, just kind of dives out of the zone. Seen a lot to the lefties. A good one here. Any pitch that looks like a strike until you go to swing, those are the pitches that are tough to do anything with. Busting him in on his last at bat, got that base hit, and then he went slider and changeup that at bat.
I'm told, Paul, that Military Idol is based on American Idol for servicemen and women, and is now titled Operation Rising Star.
Cool. Neat.
Fouled away. And the 0-1. Fouled away. You know, the 4 troops group that Kim interviewed, they're going to be featured on Nightlines tonight with Bob Woodruff. And then they have a 50 or 60 city tour upcoming. And if you want to check out where they are and when they're there, 4troopsmusic.com. The letter 4, or the number 4, troopsmusic.com. And you're going to hear them live on Yes during the 7th inning stretch singing God Bless America. Grounded to first. He pulled an outside pitch. Laporta puts it away. So Talbot has worked a 1-2-3 inning against the Yankees, and we go to the 4th. It's a 1-1 game. off. He hit a home run in the second inning. Now we're thrilled to have really, and you see the Dodge scoreboard at 1-1, one of the more famous people now in New York. This guy has become iconic after 1 year as a coach of the Jets, and he is Rex Ryan. Rex, what's up?
Not much. Can I take a shot at that?
Sure. What do you think?
I'm going to say Joe Charbonneau.
Joe
It's probably
Charbonneau.
not right, but I think he did win it, though. I think he did win Rookie of the Year.
They told me you're wrong.
See,
we take
don't
guesses.
let facts get in the way of
We take guesses. We get sent out of the booth when we're wrong.
Okay, that's strike one. What else we got?
Now you're wearing a Thurman Munson jersey. Are you
No
a
doubt.
Yankee fan?
Hey, I have to be here. No, I'm just kidding. But, no, absolutely. I grew up, I love baseball, hockey, I do all that stuff. But what do you think here?
Well, Cano's going to get that one, so Peralta flies out.
But I grew up in Chicago, so I was a Cub fan. But my dad used to coach with the Jets, so I was a Mets, Yankees, and for some reason, I don't even know why, but I thought the Yankees played in Shea Stadium for a little bit. I actually got to see them back then. So ever since then, I was always a Yankee fan.
Yeah, in 74 and 75 when they were refurbishing the old place. Now, O'Neal's 6'6". What are you weighing these days, Paul?
About 215.
Can he be a tight end, back in tight end for the Jets?
The way this guy played, as competitive as he was, he could have played a lot of things in football.
Now, you guys have made a lot of changes. You really bolstered this roster. You said last year you thought you should win the Super Bowl. A lot of people actually are picking you guys to win the Super Bowl this year. And you're picking them, too.
Absolutely. You got to stay healthy and all that, and I know we got a tough schedule. And
that one is popped up, and Teixeira is there.
How many pop-ups has he thrown today?
He's got a little cut fastball getting in there, yeah. It's got to be a fun time to be coaching the Jets, because we were talking a lot about the Cleveland Indians, where if you're managing, you can only fool guys so much. You can't go in there and say, hey, guys, we got a chance to win the World Series as the Indians this year. You can literally talk to your team and say, hey, this is where we were, this is where we want to be, and we legitimately have a chance to do this.
No, you're exactly right, Paul. We went out really trying to improve our team, and some of the moves we made in the offseason were to try to match up better against Indianapolis and New England's of the league. So I think we're right there.
Good. Now, Paul, Rex Ryan is on my radio show on ESPN every Monday, and that's the biggest, most highly listened to spot of the week. Yeah, people tune in for that. Not for me.
So
for
next
Rex.
time you text me and say, I need you on the radio show, it means nothing now, because now the truth is out.
I'm just phoning up to you, but I really do need Rex.
I never realized that.
Here's a 2-0. So what do you think of this ballpark? I know you're going to move into a new ballpark, right?
Yeah, this is the Taj Mahal of Major League Baseball, at least as far as I'm concerned. And I've seen so many. Of course, I love Wrigley and all that, but what a park. You kind of blend in the old with the new, and just an amazing park. Andy
Pettit deals the 3-0, and they swing on 3-0, and they pop it up.
That's a shock.
This is a tough play.
And Robinson Cano puts it away. Rex, we didn't have enough time. I hope you can come on center stage with us. We'll have an hour with you then.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, good to see you, and good luck this year.
I still think Joe Charbonneau did win Rookie of the Year.
We'll find out in a couple of minutes. That's Rex Ryan. There's a Jet fan right there. It's 1-1 as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Who's the last Indians player to win the Rookie of the Year? Now, the coach was right. Joe Charbonneau did win the Rookie of the Year, but he wasn't the last one to win the Rookie of the Year. The last player to win the Rookie of the Year was Sandy Alomar Jr. back in 1990. Catcher for the Indians.
Now first base coach for the Indians.
So we go to the bottom of the fourth. Andy had to get him 1, 2, 3 when he had the coach of the Jets in here.
Yeah.
He couldn't walk a couple of guys.
I had a few more questions to ask, huh? I was down in the locker room and saw he and his linebacker coach in there talking to Joe and hearing some football stories. That's always neat to see who's at the ballpark.
And that's neat for Nick Swisher as he rockets one into the corner. He's going to go for 2. Duncan comes up throwing, not in time. It is a leadoff double for Nick Swisher. He's been red hot. He's now 8 for his last 15.
Again, quiet at the plate, gets a good pitch to hit away, hooks it right down the line. See if that one flaps down. No, he seems to be digging with both arms today. Yesterday, yeah, you saw him with the one arm dangling yesterday after he hit the wall. Seems to be running okay today. So Gino and Stevie get you back out on the field digging, huh?
When you go head first, your shoulder has to feel pretty good.
He's just like a little kid. He wants to get dirty, right?
Here's Juan Miranda. Did you play football as a kid?
I did. I played through high school.
And what'd you play?
That was enough. I played. I did all kinds of stuff. I played safety. I played quarterback for a while. Then I went to the kicking game because it was easier. Because I really got involved with basketball. So it seemed like a lot of practices to play 7 or 8 games when you play football.
And you don't get hit as much in
I was much
baseball.
more into the games and the practices than in any sport, you know.
Yeah, you weren't too pleasant during spring training.
Well,
I mean, ever.
Was great for about 2 weeks, and all of a sudden it's time to go.
But the pitchers held you back. Didn't that the story of your life?
They always had. They always were able to affect your personality one way or the other, weren't they? One of those counts that you say he won't give in. You know, there's a base open, you can set up the double play. So the sinker, I mean, that's a good 3-0 pitch right off the outside corner. Talbot's not a guy who's going to challenge a lot of guys, especially with men in scoring position. The catcher on deck, you're hoping maybe if you get into a double play situation, you can get your ground ball then.
Now it's 3-2.
You've seen, really, really good pitches right there. You have 3-0 count. You throw a sinker just off the outside corner. You get the 3-0 pitch, and then that's a cutter up and in. Not much you can do with a hitter. And if he doesn't swing, it's probably ball 4. But it's not a pitch that you can handle. Now, as a hitter, you're thinking, well, he's not pitching around me, and then you have to go out of the zone a little bit because you're in a 3-2 count, and you become a little bit more aggressive.
1-1 game. We're in the bottom of the fourth. Runner at second, nobody out. 3-2. Popped up. He didn't get the job done moving the runner over the third base. So Austin Kearns records the first out. Early today, for the second day, Jorge Posada took batting practice. And the more important thing that happened today is that he ran. And I was watching him run, Paul, and Jorge's not fleet of foot, but Jorge didn't limp. So he was running hard out of the box around first towards second and hit some in the seats. I think he's really close. He's eligible to come off tomorrow, and he wants to play against the Orioles. He thinks he could play against the Orioles. The Yankees are thinking more maybe against Toronto, and they said yesterday what they were looking for, whether or not he was limping. He's not limping. So we'll see when they activate him. Here's Cervelli. Wanted to bunt, and they go up and in.
you know, if you're going to bunt for a base hit, you want to start leaning towards first base to get out of that box, and all of a sudden you see that you've got to change directions and get out of the way.
And the 1-0. Lined right at Brutzelanic. So Cervelli hit the ball hard, but Swisher remains at second. We spoke about the Orioles tomorrow. Well, the Yankees host the Orioles in the first of 3 here at the stadium. Complete coverage will start at 6 with batting practice today presented by Audi and the Tri-State Ford pregame. Then Ken Singleton will join me for the call. Orioles-Yankees tomorrow starting at 6. Only on, yeah. So what are you're exhausted after 4 games?
I'm just going to say you've had enough. You shipped me out after 4 days.
Not my choice, buddy.
Don't say it's not.
It's not my choice.
I'm back in June.
Really?
Soon.
Really?
Yeah. Soon
What series?
in June. See that?
What series?
Well, don't ask me that. No, come on.
Houston. Got the Astros.
Yes. I'm doubling up next.
Well, you must be really backloaded because I mean you haven't worked much at the beginning of the year.
You get backloaded.
You and Leiter really have the early bird schedules, I'll tell you.
I don't have near the energy that guy does. I've heard a couple of his telecasts, though.
Nobody has near the energy that guy. Bumblebee doesn't. So they want to go talk with Talbot with Gardner up in the count 2-0.
You know, Talbot's done a real good job here. He got a leadoff double, and all of a sudden he did a great thing. You know, he gets that. He's not moved over, and then he gets a break. Cervelli has a good at bat, gets knocked down, and he lines one right at the second baseman. Now you got an opportunity as a pitcher, especially in a 1-1 game, to make some good pitches here on Gardner and try to get out of this inning.
Those are some big league sunglasses right there.
I'm not even going to go there, Michael, because they look like they might fit you. I don't know.
I'm glad you didn't go there.
Not even going to go there.
Maybe this time for you to leave after 4 games. Wow. Talbot about to throw a 70th pitch. 4th inning. The 2-1. There's a strike. Oh, there's a text poll that you put together. What is this?
Talk about pregame work. What cap size should Michael K wear, a 7 or an 8? I was lucky enough. Robbie Kakuza gave me both. So with 2 outs, I'm not even started. But next inning, we will truly find out.
Can I give them your cell phone number so they can text you?
No, this is a national one.
Do you realize that? I think it was 2 years ago, Paul. This is not a lie. The last year we were in Seattle, and David Cohn said, listen, give me a call. And he gave his cell phone number out on the air.
There's the hat that Michael will be wearing next inning.
First of all, it can't be a 7. It's either a 7 and 5/8, and you think it's an 8 because you think it's
I told Robbie Kakuzi, I said, Robbie, the man said he wears 7 and 5/8, and he says there's no way he wears it. He handed me an 8. So we're going to try next inning. Like I said, there's 2 outs. We don't know what's going to happen.
Never been more hurt. Count 3-2.
You know where you're going to get really hurt if that 8's snug.
All right, now what do I get if the 8 is too big?
You get a new hat out of the deal.
Yeah, but if it's an 8 that it doesn't fit, then all right.
With the rest of your memorabilia.
But will you back up and say, you know what, you do not have a Gigantor head? You're not committing to that. That's a good-looking lid. The 3-2. Hot shot up the middle, a base hit for Gardner. Here comes Swisher. He'll score. Gardner's 2 for 2. He has an RBI single, and the Yankees lead 2-1.
Really good piece of hitting by Brett Gardner. He said yesterday he had a big opportunity to drive in runs, and he tried to do a little bit too much. This is his swing. Right up the middle, line drive, score a lot of runs with singles. Menon scoring position, drive the ball up the middle, stays through it, doesn't try to do too much with it. know what you do well on the field and then become really good at it, you can become a good player.
Now here's Derek Jeter. Derek was hit by a pitch his last time up. First time up, he grounded to third. He has a 7-game hitting streak. And you know that Gardner is a threat to run. $18 stolen bases, has been caught twice. And a strike. This is a big hit by Jeter yesterday with 2 outs, a 3-0 game, and he drove in 2 with that single. And Brett Gardner used all of his speed there.
It came in a time where, Masterson had thrown an unbelievable game. You could have counted on one hand how many pitches he missed with out over the middle of the plate. It just happened to be one of them, and Jeet, in that situation, changed the whole game.
Runner goes, pitch out, throw to second. Got him. The Indians guessed correctly. Morrison, who throws out 31% of base stealers, nails Brett Gardner, and that's only the 3rd time he's been caught all year. So they guessed correctly, and the tag by Grucholanic is applied. End of the inning. Yankees lead 2-1. Gardner, he leads off. And by the way, Grucholanic did not make the tag. It was Donald, Jason Donald. So you score that 2-6 to end the inning. But the Yankees did take the lead. 1 run on 2 hits and nobody left. So the Yankees up 2-1. And Morrison has an 0-1 count against Pettit. Yankees trying to take 3 out of 4 against the Indians. They've won 2 of the first 3. And the game that they lost was a killer. They're up 10-4. And they end up losing the game 13-11. That was on Saturday. Yesterday, they win 7-3 after trailing 3-0. The 0-1. 1-1. Pitch outside. And there's a strike. How's that text poll that you're running working, Paul?
Phone's just blowing up over here.
Most people think it's an 8.
I haven't split them up yet.
The 2-2. Inside 3-2. Yeah, they're still texting.
I got messages. My phone's going off the hook here.
The accounting firm of O'Neill, Kay, and Jones tabulating the votes. The 3-2. Soft ground ball to short. Jeter waits it out across the diamond. And there's one away. That's going to bring up the shortstop, Jason Donald. And let's check out the Home Depot hitter scouting report on Jason.
Well, bronze medal. He led the 2008 Olympic team with a .381 batting average. Cliff Lee, remember Cliff Lee from the World Series last year? Well, he was traded from the Phillies for Cliff Lee in 2009. Asdrubal Cabrera and David Price, those two names, different teams, but Cabrera being hurt has given his opportunity to play. Jason Donald broke in against David Price. First couple at bats, base hits.
Pitch outside to Jason Donald.
All right, Michael, here we go. Get in my little bag here.
Well, you got a big bag, huh? I mean, you got a lot of stuff.
Robbie's good to me, you know.
All right, so what is that?
That's a 5/8.
Right.
And you know, they don't make too many of these. That's an 8. Look at that. Okay.
Now, you think that this is going to be snug on me. All right, so the most of the votes that you've gotten are for 8. All right, we'll give it a shot. The 1-2, swung on and missed. No, check that. It was 1-0. Now it's 1-1. All right, so I'm going to try. I got to take off the headset to try it on. Okay.
That's all right.
All right, here we go.
Doesn't hurt though. That's nice.
I look like Java Chamberlain. That one's grounded foul.
Well, you got to try out the other one though.
This is going to be the 7 and 5/8.
That's right.
All right.
Looks like a thimble.
That's not 7 and 5/8.
You've officially wanted a 5/8.
Here's 5/8. Pitch is low. So this is the 5/8. Here we go. See, that's perfect.
Perfect. All right, I apologize. You're not a true 8.
All right, here we go. And the 2-2. Now, you admit that the 8 was just enormous.
I admit that you pulled it down as hard as you could, busted the seam in the back, and made it a little bit bigger. And I also admit Andy Pettit looks a little bit better at his head than you do.
Much better.
Out on the mound.
And the 3-2. Oh, that puts the 8 to sleep from now on.
Feel good about yourself.
I do. I really do.
There's a hat.
So you had the 7 and 3/8 there just to make me look bad, right?
just had to slip it in there.
Strike 3.
Good.
Slip that pitch in there, right on the outside part of the plate, 2 away.
Again, Andy Pettit has control of all of his pitches. That's kind of a cut fastball. Just hits the outside corner. He's used his curveball. It looks like he thought kind of got a little confused on how many outs there were. Sure, now there's 2. You know, just as dreadful as that one game was it game 2 with the pitching?
It was, it was game 2.
The
Saturday.
other games have been well pitched on both sides, really. I mean, yesterday, Masterson threw a great game for 7th inning. Burnett was top of his game. Pettit been really sharp today.
There's a ground ball to short. Backhanded by Jeter. He sets, fires, and they get Trevor Crow for the final out of the 5th. Indians go down 1-2-3, 8 in a row by Andy Pettit. We're halfway through. Yankees 2, Indians 1. in June are you looking forward to the most? You've been texting us at 58772, and here's how you voted. 32% say the NBA Finals, and the World Cup is the winner at 41%. Hey, that is pretty important. Every 4 years they get that, and the whole world cares about that. It shows you that I think if you took this vote in any other country, the NBA Finals wouldn't even be that close.
Yeah, that's amazing. You know what? I kind of overlooked the U.S. Open there at Pebble Beach. That's kind of a neat event, too. I just got a text, scolded from one of my golf buddies, too. How can you not say the U.S. Open? I kind of overlooked that.
Was that from Frank and Mary or just another?
No, Frankie's not the golfing type.
The 1-0?
Big inning for Talbot. I mean, anytime you get the top of the order up in the middle of a game, close game, 2-1. You pitched out of a couple jams to keep your team close, but right here with Jeter leading off, Granderson on deck, and you've got dangerous time to give up a few runs.
Derek Jeter with a base hit extends his hitting streak to 8 straight. A single to start off the 5th.
Again, Jeet does this time and time again, kind of fights the ball off the other way, shoots it through the hole.
A bit of a wobble on that bat on the Yesmo. Here's Curtis Granderson. A double down the right field line in the first, then struck out looking. And the pitch outside. Curtis 3 for 9 so far in this series. Came off the DL on Friday. Close to a month out with that groin. And he looks like he's in good health. It looks like it's all the way back because he's been explosive on the bases. Doesn't have a limp at all. Doesn't seem to be showing any kind of reluctance to bust it. So stayed on the DL long enough. High fly ball. Right center. Crow back. He'll make the play as Jeter jogs back to first.
I'll tell you what, if you're a pitcher from an opposing team, every time that ball's hit hard into right center, you kind of hold your breath. Last year, it seemed like everything it hit out there was finding the seats. This year, Michael, I think you said maybe the old stadium being taken down has kind of changed it a little bit.
Well, the wind patterns certainly have changed because the old stadium being up, it was along the first base grandstand. Wind wouldn't be allowed to come that way because it was being blocked by the old building, but now that building is gone, so kind of cross currents from third base and first. Maybe it neutralized that jet stream. Pitch outside to Mark Teixeira. And it makes more sense playing like this because the dimensions, Paul, would not indicate it should be a home run haven. Because the place across the street wasn't a home run haven.
Right.
So it had to be the wind currents, and then now with the new ballpark down, the home run's certainly down. It's not a big yard. It's not. It doesn't play like Target Field or City Field, but I think it plays fair, don't you think?
I think right center, because it goes straight across, might play a little shorter, but center field is still a bomb, and left center field is definitely still a poke. So I think as a pitcher, if you can keep the ball in certain parts of the park here, it can play big.
Grounded to second. They go to third for one, back to first. Not in time. Now, I say go to third. The third baseman is the one who covered. They obviously go to second base, so you score that 4-5, and they couldn't turn the double play.
This is probably really kind of an uncomfortable play. You're not used to turning the double play, playing at third base. We should have asked Rex Ryan what you call this. Is this a cover two, or is this you got a zone defense going here?
I think you're flooding the zone there. And Teixeira touches up, clearly ahead of the throw. Here's Alex Rodriguez. He drove in a run with a single to right center. That was in the first inning, then struck out in the third.
Just get the feeling that Alex is going to reach the seats here soon. He's had some good swings the past couple of days, hit balls right on the nose, line drives. You just get the feeling he's going to catch one here in the next day or two.
And Alex Rodriguez gets plumped. So Jeter gets hit, and now Alex gets hit.
You know, again, Talbot, you talk about that he can't miss over the middle of the plate. And, you know, if he's going to throw that two-seam fastball in, he's going to miss. It looks like it hit the pad first.
And then the belt.
Belt buckle, yeah.
How about this stat, Paul? On this date last year, through this many games, Alex had 7 home runs. He has 6 now. Now, what makes it startling is he had 7 home runs, but he missed the first 28 games because of the hip surgery. So the power is not there this year. He hasn't missed many games, certainly none because of injury. So he's 1 under what he did last year after missing a month. So you said when we did the batting practice show, Paul, that he hits them in bunches like he did that last day in Tampa Bay. Right. 2 home runs and 7 ribbies in 1 inning, but it doesn't seem like he's driving the ball for power so far.
Yeah, and if you look at his hits the last couple of days, I mean, they've been hit as hard as any of his home runs. They've been line drives. And, some years your swing is just a little bit different, and sometimes it just, it takes a while for you to get into a groove. Who knows? If we're talking about this in September, it's definitely a different view.
Cano with a fly ball to right. Shelley Duncan right there, and that will do it. No runs a hit, no errors, and 2 men left. We played 5 at the stadium. It's 2-1 Yankees. This 2-5 for the Orioles, 5.76. Javier Vazquez tried to bounce back from a bad start, 3-5, 6.86. That bad start in Minneapolis. 6 o'clock is our BP show. 6:30 is the pregame show. And 7:07 will be first pitch right here on Yes. First pitch to Groot Solanic is a ball to count 1-0. Yankees lead 2-1. Pitcher's duel. That one is lined into left center field, giving Chase Granderson there. 1 out. 9 in a row for Pettit.
His second consecutive really, really good start. He was really good in Minnesota. Been great today. As you've talked about it, Michael, he's been more consistent this year than ever. I mean, it's just, you know, I think it all stems on his curveball, being able to throw it for strikes whenever he wants.
You know what? He has a strong June, Paul, and you know, he's going to the All-Star game.
Mm-hmm.
And his manager is the guy who's going to make the decisions. There's a ground ball to third. Rodriguez gobbles it up. And it's 10 in a row. Now, we talked about Andy, and it's year to year with him. You don't know when he's going to retire because of the kids. You actually did retire earlier than I thought you should because of the kids. And you want to be home with the family. Any regrets that you left something on the table?
Not really. I mean, you always wonder what would have happened if you'd have played a couple more years, but no regrets as far as, you know, not, you go home for a reason and you're fulfilled in that way too. And there's something, you know, if Andy would take off this year, next year, whatever, there is something about leaving the game, you know, where you're still pretty good. And that's, you know, David Cohn always said, you know, I'm going to leave the game when they take that shirt off my back. And you know, not everybody feels that way. And if you've had enough, if you've competed enough, and I think that's usually where it's a time is you mentally get tired of grinding and competing. And when you feel at that point, then it's time to go, whether you're still doing well or not.
So you're 36, right, when you retired?
Yeah. No, I was 38.
No way.
Yeah, I was 38.
Well, you retired after 2000. You're 47 now.
All right, now you're doing math quizzes on me up here.
Well, when's your birthday?
February 25th, 1963. Come on, let's figure this out.
Well, you're 37.
Okay. You're right, Mike. I was just testing you. How's that?
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. And Andy Pettit is dealing. I think he's retired 11 in a row. How about that? A 7-pitch inning for the 37-year-old left-hander. We know his age. Yankees 2-1 over the Indians. You're watching Yankees baseball right here on Yes. Inning. 11 in a row for Pettit. And here's Nick Swisher. Mitch Talbot hasn't matched Andy pitch for pitch, but has certainly done a nice job as the Yankees just hold a 2-1 lead. Talbot's thrown 87 pitches. 6-3. He was 3-1 with a 2.05 in 4 April starts.
It's funny, Andy Pettit is such a groove that you just, you know, you watch the game, and especially up here, you and I get talking, and you just take for granted that it's basically going to be 1, 2, 3, and we'll get back up to bat, and it just, you become accustomed to that when you see how comfortable he is on the mound. I mean, good fastball, good location with his two-seamer, and his curveball's been everything he wants it to be. Backdoor cutters. I mean, everything he's trying to do is working.
The 2-0. High fly ball, left field. Drifting back is Kearns. One out. Boxing is returning to Yankee Stadium. Come out to the stadium on Saturday, June 5th for the Stadium Slugfest when the undefeated WBA Super Welterweight Champion Yuri Foreman defends his title against three-time world champion Miguel Cotto. Get your tickets today, Yankees.com/boxing, to see the history of boxing continue at Yankee Stadium. Now, I did my homework like I promised you. I talked to A.J. Burnett. Now, we gave a stat yesterday that A.J. has a batting average against much higher with the bases empty than with people on base. Miranda pops that one up. Donald makes the play. So obviously he's pitching to an under 200 batting average against, working out of the stretch. He had a great game yesterday, no walks. And I said to him, I told him the stats. They said, well, shouldn't that be the other way around? I said, yeah. He goes, oh. I said, well, have you ever thought about pitching out of the stretch? And he looked at me and goes, not until you just brought that up.
That's amazing how a pitcher wouldn't know that. You would think as obvious as it is his numbers, that he would know that. But, it can change your mechanics, can make it a lot more simple being from the stretch. But, either way, you got great stuff from the stretch or the windup. And yesterday, it was fun to call the game because he had everything.
Cervelli grounds out to Peralta, and a quick inning for Talbot as he retires the Yankees in order. And we go to the 7-2-1 Bombers. Us with the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. He drives out one to right center, and he puts it away for a home run. That's the only blemish against Andy Pettitte. Fourth home run for Peralta. And that tied the game at 1-1, but the Yankees have retaken the lead 2-1, and a big swing and a miss.
And you see Andy went to a breaking ball there, and Johnny Peralta, I mean, he hit that ball out, got a little bit of the plate, wasn't too bad of a pitch, but Peralta's such a good fastball hitter, you just got to mix it up a lot. He's surprised if you saw cutters, change-ups, and curveballs this whole count.
Verizon Wireless scoreboard shows us the Yankees up 2-1. There's a cutter inside. Last 14 innings, Andy Pettit's allowed just 3 runs. 2 against the Twins and 1 here today.
Change up.
Ground ball to Alex Rodriguez. 12 in a row for Pettit. You know, I got to give you one quick stat, Paul. In the 6th inning, both teams retired 1-2-3, 1-2-3. Andy did it on 7 pitches, and Talbot did it on 5. So 12 pitches to get 6 outs.
Yeah, you don't see that very often. You know, I'm just looking at Andy Pettit and how much control and how much everything's going well for him. And you can almost equate it to the way Robinson Cano is at the plate offensively. It's just like they have a great idea on what they want to do. Everything, you're clear in your thinking on everything you want to do. And, if you would make a highlight tape on pitching and hitting, those are the 2 guys that you would want to get right now and just get in their head and see what they're doing.
Nub the other way. Want to remind everybody that at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, every game will be stopped, and we will have a moment of silence so we can remember those that have fallen to provide the freedom that this country enjoys. So in 4 minutes, the 5 other Major League games going on, 6 other, will be held up, including right here at the stadium between the Yankees and the Indians. Wherever we are in the game, there'll be a stoppage in play. A national moment of remembrance. The 1-1. Count 2-1. Andy talking to himself. The 2-1. Nips the outside corner.
You'll see players, you say talking to themselves or saying something, and it's usually a reminder of, like key words they want to remember. I know as a hitter, you think of certain things, and pitchers might be stay on top or stay through, see the target. And it's just key words that, get you through the game.
There's a ground ball to short. Jeter gets Duncan. 13 in a row retired by Pettit after the single by Grudzielanek in the 3rd. And here's Matt Laporta, who is 1 for 2 against Pettit. Singles to left center, then fouled out down the right field line to Robinson Cano. We're in the top of the 7th inning. Yankees are leading 2-1. Count 1-0. And Laporta steps out. Swing and a miss. Great pitch count for Pettit, 88 pitches. Grounded to 3rd, Alex Rodriguez. And Andy Pettit with his 4th straight 1-2-3 inning. So it's been 14 in a row for Pettit, and the Indians go down 1-2-3. At the end of 6.5 innings of play, it's time for the 7th inning stretch here at the stadium. Yankees lead this one 2-1. We're going to have the national anthem, God Bless America here during the 7th inning stretch, but we will also have the moment of remembrance, and let's listen to the PA announcer, Paul Olden, here at the stadium.
Please rise and remove your caps. Today, as we celebrate Memorial Day, Americans across the country are now pausing in a national moment of remembrance. Please direct your attention to the video screen in center field as we pay tribute to the men and women of our armed forces who have lost their lives preserving our freedom.
On this day, for one brief
and direct your attention to the microphones behind home plate. And welcome back, Sony recording artists, 4 Troops. In honor of servicemen and women stationed around the globe, they will now perform God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love.
Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountain to the prairie, to the ocean, white with foam. Oh, God bless America, my home, sweet home, sweet home. God bless America, America, my home, sweet
Bottom of the 7th inning, after a national moment of remembrance and a great rendition of our national anthem by 4 Troops on the Verizon scoreboard, 2-1, and they also gave us God Bless America in the 7th inning, so the national anthem before the game, and then in the 7th inning, God Bless America, riveting the crowd, and really a nice moment here on Memorial Day, because I know people always say Happy Memorial Day, but we are remembering the fallen that have given their lives to give us the freedom that we enjoy today. So we thank them for that. Everybody here in the booth and everybody from the Yes family as well. Brett Gardner picks up his 3rd base hit of the afternoon. Gardner 3 for 3.
Oh, good days to have on a Memorial Day, right? 3 for 3 as a hitter. Good swings. Start the inning off with the Yankees an opportunity to add a few more runs for Andy Pettit.
Last time up, Gardner was caught stealing. Rafael Perez is up for the Indians in their bullpen. Talbot with 93 pitches. Here's Jeter. Jeter's single his last time up. Hit by a pitch previously and then grounded to a third. There's Perez on the first pitch he saw in the first inning.
See Derek as a hitter, as a right-handed hitter, and with a base stealer on, you're always, kind of peeking out of the corner of your eye to see if he's going. You'll take a strike to give him an opportunity to steal a base, but you hate to get yourself in a hole if the runner doesn't run.
Now Jeter's used to that because for all those years he batted second. So he's used to being in that situation. Did it with Chuck Knobloch. Last year they flip-flopped, he and Johnny Damon, but before that Damon was leading off and Derek was batting second. Runner goes. And Jeter swings and fouls it back. Was that a hit and run, or was Jeter protecting the plate?
No, that's. Gardner's on his own. When you have a guy with that speed, you don't waste an out with a hit and run, especially with the lead. Gardner got a good jump. Jeter got too good of a pitch to take. And took the first pitch, which was a breaking ball. Like he's trying to aim at that hole is what he was trying to do.
Indians now have the relief firm of Perez and Perez up. Chris Perez and Rafael Perez. We've seen both of them in this 4-game set.
You ever get their uniforms mixed up? Check what number it is.
Very close, 53 and 54. Runner goes. Throw to second. Hey, how about Will Marson gunning down the speedy Brett Gardner twice in one game?
Well, one on a pitch out and one right here. A pretty good pitch to throw on. But Gardner gets a decent jump. You see, just a great throw. G takes the pitch for him. Good exchange. Good throw.
Marson has thrown out 12 of 34 base runners, and that makes his day because he just got himself a brand name. Gardner, one of the more accomplished base stealers this year. Caught only twice coming into this game, now twice in a period of 4 innings.
I think he caught his thumb on something.
Should I say Steve Donahue checking it out? It's like it's bleeding.
I tell you, got to be impressed with Talbot the way he's. It hasn't been anything other than good control, changing speeds. He's kept this team shut down an offense and only given up 2 runs. He's pitched out of some jams.
And the 3-2 to Jeter. Rounded up the middle, a base hit. Jeter's second base hit, a multi-hit game for him. Let's take a look at how Gardner might have banged up his hand. His left thumb hits the bag. The right one collides with the left foot of Jason Donald.
A lot of times that's he wears that guard to try to protect it, and you kind of hook that thumb on the bag every once in a while when you go in. Just hope he didn't stretch that ligament in there.
Well, Manny Acta is going to take the ball for Mitch Talbot. And Perez is coming in, but it's going to be Rafael Perez against Curtis Granderson in just a moment. Rest of the game, and Matty Acton made the call to the bullpen. Brought to you by AT&T. Rethink possible. You'll see Perez's numbers pop up. This is his 19th game. Too many hits, and 1-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio is not good. Now, another thing that Yankee fans have to be a little concerned about is that Ramiro Pena is pinch running for Derek Jeter. Now, he's not that much faster than Jeter, so this is obviously something where you would think that something's up with Jeter. Paul, you don't pull Derek Jeter out of a game where the score is 2-1.
Yeah, you would think maybe he felt something in his leg or his back or something, just precautionary, obviously. But, you know, he went through his at-bat. And
could it be when he got hit on the hamstring?
Yeah, it could well be.
Yeah, he's got a little hitch in his giddy up there. Remember, he got hit in the hamstring in the second inning by a Talbot pitch. So he wasn't running well at all. Maybe it's tightening up.
Yeah, it could definitely be it, Michael. I mean, it did look like it got him in the back of the hamstring. This is one where Girardi would go up and say, you know, let me get you here. And Jeter say, no, let me hit. And you know, you'd have Pena ready, knowing if he got on base, he was going to come out anyway.
Now, Paul mentioned earlier that Granderson's had some good swings against lefties in this series. Here he is, lefty-lefty, one man out. And that one is rolled foul. He tried to get out of the way of the ball.
You can't get back. You know, you get back to Talbot. You got to be impressed what he does. I mean, you're coming in with the Cleveland Indians. You're 18-30 as a team, and you know you come into this game as a 6-2 record. So it's hard to win, you know, 6 games this time of the year when you're with a team like this. And he was impressive today.
Outside to Granderson. You see Perez's numbers, and they're a little bloated, and it's kind of hard to believe because a couple of years ago, he was really a lights-out, shut-down lefty-lefty guy. But he is struggling.
He got those couple of years that he did really well, too. He got a lot of appearances, a lot of innings in, and might be starting to take its toll. You can see how he could be tough, you know, tall, lanky lefty, kind of slings the ball at you from the left side, makes it really hard to pick up the ball. Even in slow motion, you can see a lot of arms and legs, and he hides the ball. Kind of throws it around his body. A lot easier to pick up on that Yes-Mo.
You would have liked it hitting with the pitcher in Yes-Mo, and you in Fast-Mo, and Granderson with the base-Mo. So Granderson, another hit against the lefty. He is 2 for 4 now today as Pena advances to second.
That's a good piece of hitting there. I mean, the ball beat him inside, but he stayed through it strong enough to drive it to the outfield. See, that ball's in off the plate. But if you stay through it and don't come off of it, chances are you're at this level strong enough to drive it over the second baseman's head. Michael, you talked about it's good to see him swinging the bat well, and it looks like he's passed all the tests as far as running, getting breaks in the outfield. Another opportunity for Teixeira. Men in scoring position.
And batting from the right side. Pitch outside. Now you wonder why they're keeping in Perez. They've got a righty ready. You could spin Teixeira around to a side that he's struggling with, and then you have Rodriguez next. I mean, if you're waiting for Cano, you still have to navigate Teixeira and Rodriguez. Garrett sitting next to one of the Yankee trainers, talking things over. They say that Derek Jeter left today's game with tightness in his left hamstring. And that was the hamstring that was plunked. by the pitch by Talbot. That one gets past Morrison, and both runners move up. So a wild pitch by Rafael Perez. And there's Derek when he got hit earlier in the second inning on the hamstring. Flush. And that forces the Indians to intentionally walk Teixeira. And let's see if they bring in the right-hander to face A-Rod. And they will. Manny Acta makes his way out of the dugout. Manny walking slowly, but the bullpen door is open, and Chris Perez will make his way in. So the base is loaded for the Yankees. They hold a one-run lead. They can give themselves a comfortable lead. A-Rod against Perez when we get back. Vote early and vote often. Vote today at Yankees.com. All right, so it's Chris Perez against Alex Rodriguez. Bases loaded and one out. Those are the numbers on Perez, and they're very good except for the walks. Big spot in the game for the Yankees to get some breathing room for the final two innings. 1-0.
It's funny, these are the at-bats we continually get this whole series with A-Rod and Teixeira with the opportunities to come through where they have in their whole career. And, you know, you get these two guys rolling in these situations, and it's going to be a fun June for the Yankees.
Count 1-1.
Breaking ball slider away. Out in front, you see that hand come off the bat a little bit.
Missed outside with the fastball. Count 2-1.
Who's that pitcher, Michael? You see Perez, he brings the ball out of his glove and kind of keeps it out of his glove as he's delivering. Was it Rob Mann or somebody else did like that? I don't remember. He holds that ball out of the glove.
Well, A-Rod's had one grand slam this year. That was against the Twins. We showed you on the open. And that was off Matt Guerrero. And that was a bad matchup. And A-Rod took advantage of it. Gave the Yankees a lead. They ended up winning that game.
Well, the dangerous pitch here. 3-1. Alex Rodriguez, bases loaded.
High drive, center field. Going back, Crow, track, wall, See ya! A grand slam for Alex Rodriguez. And the Yankees have broken it open. They lead 6-1. Against the Twins, they intentionally walk Teixeira. Against the Indians, they intentionally walk Teixeira. And he hits a grand slam. And that is the 20th grand slam of his career. And it breaks a tie with Eddie Murray. One more, and he ties Manny Ramirez. 3 more, the all-time leader, Lou Gehrig. But for today, it means 6-1 Yanks.
Well, I apologize, Michael. Earlier in the game, I said, I think I just got that feeling he's going to put one in the seats, and he put one in the net for us today. Dead center field. 3-1 pitch, nowhere to put him.
And his 590th career home run.
So you could see Alex Rodriguez the last couple days starting to hit some balls right on the nose. And we're getting a 3-1 count. I mean, he's the type of pitcher, a hitter that can look for anything out over the plate and drive it to dead center field.
5 times as a Yankee, or in the last year and a half, Paul, they intentionally walked Mark Teixeira against A-Rod. He's 5 for 5.
Yeah, I mean, it sets up a challenge. You know, it kind of puts your ego at a challenge to prove that, you can't do that. You hear that sound. A lot of times that just not a better feeling in the world for a hitter to hit a grand slam.
Now, Robinson Cano has a 13-game hitting streak on the line. He's 0 for 3 today. And the count now, 3-2. And yes, Mo, here's the point of contact. That bat doesn't waver at all, and he sends it into Monument Park. 20 grand slams. That one is driven deep to right field. Duncan back, looking. See ya! Back-to-back home runs for the Yankees. A grand slam by A-Rod. A solo shot by Cano. And the Yankees lead 7-1. That's a nice way to extend a hitting streak. 14 in a row.
I'll tell you what, he's on every pitch, whether he makes an out or not. And you see a lot of laughs from Kevin Long. He's seeing great things from some of his biggest hitters. You should feel like some of that early work's really coming through. And A-Rod's going to sit and tell, this is what we worked on. This is what we're doing. I tell you what, Robbie, if you're only going to get one hit now, Robbie, you might as well make it a home run, right?
11th home run of the year leads the Yankees. And here's the pitch to Swisher. It's a strike.
No, inside fastball. And like I said, if the ball's away, he'll drive it away. The only question was that high enough? It was going to be a hit. See a slider down and in.
He could not hold up, so the count 0-2. This is Alex watching Cano. He knows that the Yankees just went back-to-back. So his grand slam energized the crowd, kind of reignited the team, and Andy Pettitte has himself a 7-1 lead.
That's if you're Robbie Cano, and you have a 7-1 lead, you can jokingly go over to A-Rod and say, hey, thanks for picking up everybody, not leaving a few on there for me.
This is always fascinating to me, Paul. What is being said there? Do they go over how they did it? What are they talking about?
All kind of chat. You just don't believe how chatty you get after you hit a home run. Just a lot of things you want to talk about.
Is it trash talk? Is it bragging?
It's not bragging. It's just kind of fun talk, kind of trash talk. Yeah. Who's went farther, who called, just...
I think A-Rod wins that one today.
Yeah.
So 7 home runs for Alex, and now 39. Check that. 40 runs batted in. So he takes the team lead away from Cano. Alex with a 5 RBI day. 2-2.
This has really come into a pattern where the Indians come out, play really well for half of the game, and then you almost see that they just don't believe that they can beat the Yankees. And you get into that bullpen and balls start flying, runs start crossing the plate. That man did a good job tonight.
He's going to get a loss out of it.
Exactly, yeah.
Two-two. Swisher hanging in there. I think they got a piece of the home plate umpire, Dana Demuth. Good to be young and a Yankee right there. The 2-2. That's what you miss, though, the most, right, Paul? The competing and then...
Yeah, I mean, just going home on a day like this where you've had a big hit, just, you know, you still have a lot of emotion day in and day out. You get to go home and relax on a night game knowing you did everything you could to help the team win. Good feeling.
3-2. A base hit off the bat of Swisher. Duncan cuts the ball off. Swisher is going to go to second when the ball is bobbled. And he will make it. For Nick, that's his second hit. Now, obviously, the key at bat in this game is the Alex Rodriguez Grand Slam. So let's look at it pitch by pitch, Paul. It's brought to us by Suzuki Kazashi.
Well, if you look at the mistake here, the first pitch, a good slider. That was a backup right there, strike one. But now you've got to get that second strike, and you've got to get Alex in a defensive mode. What happened? Now he fell behind a 3-1. Now he's got to pitch over the middle of the plate. Never got to that strike two to put any pressure on Alex Rodriguez, put him in a hitting mode.
And then in a talking mode as he continues to talk about it with Robinson Cano. Chris Perez is going to think about it as Manny Acta goes to the bullpen again. The Yankees lead 7-1, looking for more and talking about it still. The New York Yankees. Crowd still buzzing from the back-to-back home runs. The A-Rod Grand Slam, the solo shot by Cano. Now Nick Swisher's base hit has scored a double, and that will knock out Chris Perez and bring in Jamie Wright. Still just one out. And the only out was recorded on a caught steal. Here's Jamie Wright's numbers. 18th game, 1-2, 4.58. More than a hit per inning, and the walks are too high, and he will face Juan Miranda.
You know, it's funny because a lot of these guys that have come out of the pen for the Cleveland Indians came in this series with pretty decent numbers. And I tell you what, ever since the bullpen door has opened this whole series, it's like a different Yankee lineup has come up. The balls just start flying.
Yankees have pounded out 13 hits and 7 runs. Chano Park is warming in the bullpen for the Yankees, so they might take Andy Pettitte out because of the lead and why push him, save some pitches. He is 37 years old. And
a long break. I mean, it's...
There's a base hit to right field. Let's see if they try to score Swisher. Well, they'll hold him up as Duncan comes up throwing. A base hit for Miranda.
The ball hit hard, finds a hole. Again, this Cleveland bullpen continues to be gasoline alley. They just come in and line them up, and Yankee hitters are really digging in.
So first and third, still one out. Here's Francisco Cervelli as the Yankees have batted around. 7th inning has been important in these games. Yankees scored 5 in the 7th yesterday. The Indians scored 7 in the 7th on Saturday. And the Yankees scored 4 in the 7th on Friday. So it's been lucky 7 for somebody.
That's a lot of run production for one inning, huh?
Now remember this one thing, Paul. Andy Pettitte's been sitting since the moment of remembrance, and I think he threw his last pitch at 2:58. So right now it's 3:34. He's been sitting over a half hour. He's not in the dugout. He's probably done.
Yeah, I would think so. And I mean, what else can you do? You threw the ball great. The team's kind of blown the game open.
This should get a run in. The catch is made by Crow. Tagging is Swisher. He will score easily. It's 8-1 Yankees. A sac fly for Cervelli.
I mean, Cervelli has gotten this opportunity with Georgie being out to do some things, and he's proved to some people what he can do at the plate, especially with men in scoring position. Pretty smart hitter, knows how to get the ball out of the infield to get runs in.
23 runs batted in for Cervelli. Here's Gardner. Started the inning with a single and then was caught stealing.
Seems like a long time ago, doesn't it?
About 30 minutes ago. So he is 3 for 3 on the day. $8-14-0 for the Yankees, 1-4-1 for the Indians. The Yankees looking for their 31st win, which would put them 11 games over 500. And count 2-1. And a strike, count 2-2.
Tough pitch to hit there. You see the location on that ball, down and in, kind of that ball you throw it, supposedly the front hip of a lefty. Trying to run it back over the inside corner, but that ball ended up down and in. Not much you can do with it. Hopefully as a hitter you only have one strike, so you're still in there.
The 2-2. Grounded foul.
It's kind of right at the end of my career, people started throwing that two-seam fastball at your hip for a strike, and then you would change the next pitch. You would throw a cutter at the same spot in the inside corner and run it in off the plate, and it just it almost became automatic, and you saw it right there. And it's just different movements on the ball, but going at different angles.
2-2. Leiter calls that the scissor effect, and that's certainly something that a lot of pitchers use now.
You look at that and how easy it sounds to to hit the corner here and hit the corner there, and you don't really understand how hard it is to put a baseball at 90 miles an hour exactly at a certain spot. And if you watch Andy Pettit as he pitched today, I mean the catcher barely moved his glove half the time. I mean he's hitting his spots. He's got the movement that he knows he's going to get on certain pitches, and pitching becomes easy when you can hit spots with movement. But as soon as you miss by just a little bit in certain situations against certain hitters, all of a sudden it all changes.
Runner goes. Now it's popped up. Right there is Kearns, and that will do it. But the Yankees break this baby open. They lead 8-1, and it all started with this swing. A grand slam off the bat of Alex Rodriguez. His 20th grandy of his career, followed shortly after by Robinson Cano's solo shot. We go to the 8th. Yes, we are asking you to vote along with us for the Chevy part of the game. Text your vote to 58772, or you can vote online at yesnetwork.com. Today's candidates are number 1, Andy Pettit, number 2, Brett Gardner, number 3, Alex Rodriguez, number 4, Robinson Cano. You can vote now, make your voice heard, and standard text messaging rates apply.
Who you got, Michael? It's another tough one. Alex Rodriguez, grand slam, but Andy Pettit absolutely dominating again.
I think I got to give it to the pitcher.
I'm with you.
Even without Alex's 5 RBIs, he only gave up 1 run. But, I'd have to give it to Andy Pettit. But we'll see how the vote goes. 8-1, Chan-Ho Park is in. Andy Pettit retired the final 14 batters that he faced. And there's a strike to Lou Morrison.
Well, there's a lot of good things happening with Mark Teixeira and Alex Rodriguez this series, and you just hope that as Chan-Ho Park comes in the game, you start to see that resurgence in the bullpen, the late part of the bullpen. Never worry about Mariano, but you worry about that bridge right now to get to Mariano. Not in a game like this, but in the close games. Give these guys opportunities to try to win roles out there. There's Jabba, probably anxious to get back out there after the outing he had the other night.
The one thing they want to see out of Park is a fastball that's 95, because that's what he was throwing last year coming out of the bullpen for the Phillies. Now, he's touched it a couple of times, but he's usually pitching at 91, 92, and we've seen so far today 92-mile-an-hour fastball. And there's a difference. It doesn't seem like a lot, but there's a difference.
Big difference, yeah. There's a special line as a hitter. You know, you seems to be right at about 93 miles an hour, and then once you get above that, it's a little special. There's a slider there right off the outside corner.
And Morrison's down looking.
And Chet Park is a guy that doesn't have a tremendous amount of movement on his fastball, so, you know, velocity is important.
Park is just throwing strikes. Want to remind everybody that Ramiro Pena, who had pinch run for Jeter, remains in the game and plays shortstop. Those are the changes. Park and Pena. Gets that one up to 93 in the count 1-2. Might have heard in the background Andy Pettit's line, outstanding. 7 innings pitched, gave up 4 hits, 1 run, 5 strikeouts, and did not walk a batter. As Paul said, it seemed like Cervelli never had to move his glove.
The second or third consecutive game without a walk. They didn't have one in Minnesota, right?
I'll take a look. There's a ground ball to Pena. 16 Indians have gone down in a row. Let's see, Pettit walks. I did walk 2 against Tampa Bay, so it's two straight starts without a walk.
Still pretty impressive.
Yes.
Well, Michael, the stadium looks as pretty as it did when you gave that weather report in the top of the second. You know that? Sun shining.
Ice cream melting.
That's right. Messes to be made. Guys have given up on the Indians. They're just going to start eating.
Now they're using expensive water to clean legs. It's a mess. Got some on the lip. Count 2-0. Did you go ice cream today?
I had a couple.
Okay.
I didn't go one. I had a couple. Just tasters.
And a strike. Count 2-1 now to Crow. Crow's 0 for 3. Everybody's 0 for something, it seems like. Although Grucilonic has 2 hits. And the home run by Peralta. That's really the only damage done by the Indians. You know, the scouting report I got from a couple of the Cleveland people that traveled with the team, it really turned out to be perfect. They would say, you get to the 7th inning, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they play 7 innings and then the big boys take over.
It's like they don't believe they can win.
Right.
And you come out, you know, the excitement of the game gets you through the first 4 or 5, and then you just figure out where you are and that you're probably going to lose and go home.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight. 1, 2, 3 innings, 17 in a row. Indians going down. At least the ice cream's good.
grand slam, dead center field. Alex Rodriguez, when you say his 20th
grand slam, yep. Third all-time. Second is Manny Ramirez with 21. First with 23 is Lou Gehrig. And the pitch to Ramiro Pena is a strike. Pena, Granderson, and Teixeira here in the 8th against Jamie Wright. And a base hit. Kearns will get it in, so a leadoff single for Ramiro Pena. Hey, after the final out, join Nancy Newman back in the studio for the WB Mason postgame show. You get highlights and analysis from the series finale with the Indians. Plus, Kimberly Jones gets the postgame reactions from the clubhouse. It's all coming up on the WB Mason postgame show. It's only on Yes. Here's Curtis Granderson. There's a strike. There's a strike. Mark Teixeira's on deck. Count 1-2. Granderson 2 for 4 today, and so far since coming up the DL, he is 4 for 11. He'll take that.
Joe say he had one more day off before he started playing him every day.
Swing and a miss. Tied him up. 1 out.
Every once in a while you get caught in a 2-strike count and the pitcher makes a good pitch. Not much you can do with it. We'll see where this ball ends up. Starts out in the zone, ends up on the back foot. See that little abbreviated swing there, trying to do anything you can to foul it off.
Grounded through the right side for a base hit. Pena stops at second. So Teixeira with a single. That's his first hit of the day.
And going up there hacking, don't try to work the count. Late in the game, you know, you want to get your good swings in.
Alex Rodriguez gets a nice hand from the crowd. He's 2 for 3 today. He was hit by a pitch. He has 5 runs batted in. You know, Paul, we do the math. I was talking earlier about the home run total is a little low. Well, if you prorate what he's done over the first almost third of the season, he's going to hit 125 runs batted in.
It really is amazing, and he hasn't had his real hot streak yet. I mean, obviously he had a grand slam today, but he'll go through a week where he'll hit 4 or 5 home runs and drive in 15 to 20 runs, and all of a sudden, you know, he'll be up in the league leaders in run production. And you know, when you're that good in one category as far as his offensive numbers, you just get so accustomed to it and so used to it, and it seems so easy that sometimes it takes away from offensively how good this guy is.
And the count 1-2 on A-Rod from Jamie Wright.
That's one of those pitches as a hitter. You know, this is your at bat. You don't care about the score. You don't care how long they've been out here. You know, you want to be in counts that you can give me a chance to hit.
The 1-2. Missed outside, 2-2. 16 hits the Yankees have pounded out. And 8 runs. They lead 8-1.
You look at, you know, you were talking about the time of that, the bottom of the 7th inning being over a half an hour. You look about an hour ago, it was a 1-1 game. Yep. And then a 2-1 game. And then all of a sudden the Yankees just have that seventh inning. I mean, they've shown that they have that offense that can explode and throw a lot of runs up quick.
That one is laced into right center field. It is going to be trouble. Cut off in the gap by Crow. Pena scores. A-Rod goes to second with an RBI double. Teixeira stops at third. A 6 RBI day for Alex Rodriguez, and the Yankees lead 9-1.
You know, you say, this game's out of hand, so what? But these are big at-bats. I mean, Alex Rodriguez is trying to get in the mental part of the game where he knows he can drive in runs time and time again. You get used to having good at-bats with men in scoring position. You see the slow motion, top pitch, down and away. Just kind of serves it out to right center.
Kevin Russo pinch runs for Alex Rodriguez, and A-Rod gets a nice hand from the crowd. So runners on second and third. And here's Cano. Pitch outside. So A-Rod has grabbed the RBI lead from Cano. 6 today, 41 on the season. Cano has 1 today, and he has 38 on the season. Kevin Russo, as we mentioned, pinch running for A-Rod. And the count 2-0.
If you're Jamie Wright, you look over your shoulder and you see nobody in that bullpen. Any actor says, this is yours to. Don't look for any help. Find out a way to get some of these guys out and get us back in the dugout.
Grounded and off the glove of Laporta and into right field. 2 runs will score. And the Yankees lead 11-1. Cano will take that one. 2 hits for him, and now he has 40 runs batted in.
Things are going well. Confident hitters. Good things happen. Ball goes off the guy's foot. A couple runs come in.
A lot of numbers out there.
Boys are starting to fight at the bat rack. A lot of hits going on out there.
Well, this would have been a perfect weekend for the Yankees if they had held on to that lead on Saturday, but they'll take 3 out of 4. Swisher takes the strike. Count 0-2. 18 hits for the Yankees, a season high. Swisher has 2 of them. 2 hits and 4 at-bats. And the last day of May, and Swisher's not thrilled with that. He has just owned this month, this season. The 0-2. 1-2. Last year, May was not that great for Swisher. April was outstanding, came back down to earth in May, but he had a pretty good April, and he's had an outstanding May for the Yanks.
How was your May last year, Mike?
Very good.
Good?
Great May.
Great in the booth last May?
It was good off the field.
Off the
Yeah.
That's important.
Met somebody very important in May, so it was a good May.
Not such a bad thing.
378 this month for Swisher. Swing and a miss. So the second out recorded by Wright. And Nick might finish his day at 2 for 5, and that'll bring up Miranda. He is 1 for 4. Along with Paul O'Neill and Kimberly Jones, I'm Michael Kay, and you're watching Yankees baseball right here on Yes. We thank you for spending part of your Memorial Day with us. 11-1 Yankees lead. That one fouled off the foot of Miranda. And Orioles come into town for 2 night games and then a day game on Thursday. And then the Yankees head on the road to Toronto for 3.
And you talked about Memorial Day kind of being a guide of where you are. Yankees have played very well at home. Always an important stat in my mind. You know, you play 81 games in one ballpark. It's important to win games at home. Get off to, looks like going to be 3 out of 4 out of this first series. The Baltimore Orioles coming in tomorrow.
Well, the men in the white hats have done a good job. Although the Indians are wearing white hats as well. They didn't do that great a job. The 0-2. Outside 1-2. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the aforementioned New York Yankees.
That doesn't sound like that was the first time you've read.
No, but I have not memorized it, Paul. The 1-2. You got to read it the next time you do the game. Yeah, I think you could do it.
I don't know that I'd have the impact that you do, Michael, with that. It just sounds like you when it comes out of your mouth.
The gravitas?
Yeah. Whatever you said, yeah.
The 2-2. High drive, right field, going back Duncan. And he'll make the play in front of the track for the final out of the 8th. But the Yankees scored 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors, 1 man left. Last legs coming up for the Indians. And they've held the Indians to just 4 and 1 run. In fact, 17 straight Indians have gone down at the hands of Yankee pitching. 14 of them against Andy Pettit, and then 1, 2, 3 against Chan-Ho Park in the 8th. Park still out there. A couple of changes for the Yankees. Kevin Russo takes over third. Remember, he had pinch run for A-Rod, and they give Mark Teixeira the rest of the day off at first. There's Russo as Juan Miranda, the DH, moves out into the field. That means Chan-Ho Park, the pitcher, is now batting in the number 3 hole.
Which means the Indians throw a 10 spot up, and Chan-Ho's going to have to hit, huh?
Or a pinch hitter.
Yeah. I don't know if you give up 10 if you're going to be in the game.
That's a good point.
Might be Mariano at that point.
Rutsalana got the last base hit for the Indians. A one-out single in the third. In fact, the last base runner. No Indian has walked. The 1-2. Now, if the Yankees hold on, Andy Pettit's going to get his 7th win of the year. He'll also get his 235th win all time. Oh, he has 235 now, so he'll tie Whitey at 236, tied for 58th place on the all-time list, Major League history.
How about being 100 games career, 100 games over 500?
Remember, that was a big deal because Mike Messina finished his career 100 games over 500 as well.
That's consistency.
Buzzed him inside, count 3-2. Hit sharply to short. Pena gobbles it up. 18 in a row for the Yanks. Now, I'm not going to say, Paul, that the Indians don't seem like they're trying, but it doesn't seem like they think they belong on the field.
Right, and these are the teams that if you put away early in the game, which you threw it, waited to the 7th today, that you don't expect them to come back with much, because you get in a habit. You either get in a habit as a team as going out and winning games, or you get in the habit of losing games. And right now the Indians are in a habit of going to the ballpark. Chances are we're going to lose. We're going to go play hard. We're going to try to get better. But it makes for a long summer. There's no doubt about it, especially for the veteran players still left over there.
And you wonder what a guy like Grutzelanek and a guy like Kearns, who's 30 years old, what do they think? Because I don't think that they're going to be in the mindset, well, let's move runners over. They got to think about
That's right.
the next year and where they're going to be. They want to put up some numbers. So you almost wonder, Paul, why those guys are on the team. Just keep running all kids out there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that you can, throw a AAA team out there. You have to have some names, and hopefully they get Sizemore back, because he's still a guy that even if your team loses, you'll go out and watch. But, you can never forget that you're walking into Yankee Stadium, you're dressing for a major league game, you're playing in front of 50,000 people. That never gets old. I don't care what team you're on. So there's always going to be spots that, and for veteran players on some subpar teams to try to help along young players. You see it, Shelley Duncan, he's kind of seen both ends of it. Been in the Yankee dugout through big wins, and now with the Cleveland Indians, it's trying to somehow get on track of getting back to where they can even compete.
Austin Kearns could not hold up, so it's a strikeout. The putout is 2-3. Now, how about this for a stat? I mean, we always talk about control, command, not walking batters. If Andy Pettitte gets this win, certainly looks like he's going to. In his last 13 starts since April of 2008, when he didn't walk a batter, he's 11-0. That's a pretty good recipe for success for a pitcher. Don't walk batters.
No, don't walk batters. Don't get in 3-1 counts where you give up grand slams. And it's just pitch ahead. It seems so simple, but as soon as you're ahead in the count, hitters get defensive. And believe me, I've been in both situations, been behind in the count and ahead in the count. Totally different hitter when you're ahead of the count.
Count 2-0 to Travis Hafner. Came into the series with a 12-game hitting streak. And he's 1 for 10 in the series now. So the hitting streak went away, and then the hot streak went away.
We got 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th, and 3-0 count. We could see our first walk here.
Boy, if you're Channel Park, don't you have to just put it on a tee?
That's exactly right.
Yankees are looking at Park. This might seem 11-1. It's, you know, it's all eyewash, but it's not. They want to get Channel Park straightened out. At 3-0, he does throw one right down the middle, 3-1.
You know, if Chad-Ho Park is not going to hit the radar game at 95, 96 anymore, he's going to have to learn to use that slider, maybe learn how to get a little more movement on the fastball.
The 3-1. And the Indians are down to their final strike here at the stadium.
It's a breaking ball right there. 3-1 count, a cutter, a little slider.
Another big crowd at the stadium. They're looking to end it on a high note. Most of them standing. 11-1 Yankees. Stayed alive. Robinson Cano extended his hitting streak today with a couple of base hits. 3 runs batted in. Cano now with a 14-game hitting streak. And the Yankees are pounding the Indians today, 11-1. The 3-2. And Hafner seems like he is delaying the inevitable. Tough first year for Manny Acta, but I think he knows the team he has. They've traded away all their stars, and this is rebuild mode for the Indians.
He came over from the Nationals, and it's not a huge adjustment.
3-2, he walked him. So that's the first walk for an Indian, and also breaks a streak of 19 straight Indians retired. So a small victory there as they don't go down meekly the final 20. And that's going to bring up Peralta, who gave the Indians the only run they have, an opposite field home run against Andy Pettit in the second. Missed outside.
Interesting pitch selection there. 11-1. Start a guy off with a slider away. We talked about it. Peralta likes that fastball.
And he's also working on things out there. They need to straighten him out. High pitch count for him, so in order for him to get the final 6 outs, he's probably making himself unavailable tomorrow night against the Orioles. 1-1. Breaking ball. Count 2-1. The 2-1. And again, Indians down to their final strike. And the pitch. Driven into right center. Coming on. Swisher. Can't make the play. So he gets the ball in quickly. A base hit for Peralta, who is 2 for 4.
Peralta fastball away. Kind of gets a little sinking line drive. Swisher coming in. Looks like he got it off his glove. Got it before it bounced, but just couldn't get it in the glove.
Now, Dave Island didn't want to do it, but he had to go to the bullpen phone. They're stirring out there because let's say he can't get this final out. Last thing they want to do is hang him out there for 50 pitches. He's at 39 right now. Here's Shelley Duncan. Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did, said Kerwin Manley. Shelley is 0 for 3, 0 for 6 in this series. You see Chad Godin starting to loosen up. And that one is a line drive base hit to center field up the bat of Duncan. Hafner scores. That's an RBI single for Duncan. Now it's 11-2 Yankees. And I think that Chano Park is just fatigued, Paul.
Yeah, it looks like, I mean, he's gone to breaking balls early in the count. He doesn't feel like he's real confident with his fastball. He came in his first inning throwing a lot of fastball, first pitch strikes. And all of a sudden you get frustrated as a pitcher. You know you need one out. Shelley Duncan, believe me, he's a guy that's going to make every at-bat act like, it means a lot, because it does to him. Drives the ball up the middle.
So Island has his say, also gives Godin a couple more throws out in the bullpen. And here is Matt Laporta. 11-2 Yankees. Swing and miss. Yeah, he does not feel real good about the fastball. If he, in an 11-2 game, he's starting people off with breaking balls. The 0-1. Laporta loses the bat, and also the count goes to 0-2.
You see Laporta almost look out of there at the pitcher like, are you kidding me? And this is an old baseball rule that, 11-2, throw a fastball, let's go, challenge me. I've heard it all. Believe me, I've screamed it all too. But you see his reaction to this, another off-speed pitch. Looks back out there.
Again, down to their final strike. And the 0-2. Swung on and missed. Cervelli gets an angle, and the Yankees win the game 11-2. So Chano gets the final out. Indians 1 run, 2 hits, and 2 men left. Yankees take 3 out of 4 from Cleveland, and they open this baby up with a 6-run 7th inning and never look back. So stick around for the post-game show to find out who's today's Chevy player of the game. I don't think you throw any champagne celebrations over the fact that you've beaten the Indians 3 games out of 4, Paul, but you have to beat the bad teams. That's the way you win pennants. That's the way you build up win totals.
Yeah, you also look back at that loss that they had, and then they had an opportunity to lose the next day, and they bounced back. Teixeira hits the big home run, and that pretty much shows what kind of team you got. That, one day, one night is not going to affect them more than just that one game.
A lot of people contributed. Obviously, Alex Rodriguez and Robinson Cano, and Kim Jones has one of the Yankee stars with her. Kim?
I do, and Robbie, a big game for you, but for Alex Rodriguez, the grand slam that opened things up, what was your view from on deck?
Well, that was a great swing. As soon as he hit, I know you're gonna go out.
And then you wanted to follow that up, I assume?
Well, I was trying to just get a pitch and trying to get a hit because I haven't hit in the game, and this guy made a good swing on that pitch.
It must be a great world to live in when you're trying to get a hit and you end up hitting it out.
Well, that's the best thing, Is as long as you get on base or do something to help the team to win, I'm more than happy.
Take us into the dugout, because you and Alex were having a lot of fun talking about those back-to-back jacks. What was that conversation like?
I was asking how it feels, because the thing is, when you see they walk the guy in front of you, because they want to pitch to you, that thing is, he wake you up. So, good thing, he wait for a pitch that he can drive and he did his job.
What did he tell you he felt when they walked Teixeira?
He said he feels good.
You could do my job, Robbie Cano. That's a great question by you. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Michael, he's going to take over.
Oh, that's not good. Anyway, thank you, Kim. That is Robinson Cano. And we talked about it. Since Mark Teixeira became a Yankee, they've walked him 5 times in front of A-Rod, and A-Rod's gotten a hit 5 times. This year alone, 2 grand slams.